I think Donald Trump genuinely had one of the worst days of his second term today, and that is saying something because there have been a lot of bad days in his administration. After he put out that insane Easter post where he threatened war crimes against Iran, so many different things have just come crumbling down.
So Harry J. Sisson just broke down what might be Trump's most catastrophic day since returning to office, and the ripple effects are staggering. We're talking about market crashes, diplomatic humiliation, and serious constitutional crisis conversations, all stemming from one unhinged Easter morning post. Let's break this down.
Tuesday will be power plant day, said Donald Trump, and bridge day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the effing straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, Donald J. Trump. So he woke up angry, he woke up unhinged, and this is what he put out.
This isn't just crude language. Threatening civilian infrastructure like power plants and bridges constitutes war crimes under the Geneva Conventions. The bizarre Allah reference shows Trump's complete psychological unraveling, and doing this on Easter morning demonstrates zero awareness of how unstable this makes America look globally.
If the president intended for his incendiary post to calm the markets, maybe that's what he was thinking, it had the opposite effect, instead sending oil prices even higher. On Sunday, CNN reported the cost of Brent crude rose 1.4% to $110.60 per barrel. U.S. crude rose 1.8% to $113.60, their highest in over 3 years.
The Strait of Hormuz carries about 20% of global oil supply, so any threat to close it sends energy markets into panic mode. Oil traders understand that Trump's volatility could trigger actual military conflict, which explains why crude prices spiked immediately despite markets being closed.
Gas prices are at their highest since June 2022, having risen by over 38% since the war began to a national average of $4.11. So the markets have already reacted incredibly poorly to what Donald Trump said on social media, because of course they would. I mean, this is a major escalation.
This completely destroys Trump's central economic promise. He campaigned on bringing down gas prices, yet his own threats just drove them to 3-year highs. American families are now paying $4.11 per gallon because their president can't control his morning social media rage sessions.
He also dismissed Trump's threats as a sign that the United States has resorted to obscenities and nonsense out of sheer desperation and anger, which unfortunately really doesn't seem like an inaccurate description of Donald Trump. I'm never going to play defense for Iran, defend this spokesperson, or defend anything that Iran does. It's a brutal, oppressive regime, but it does appear that Donald Trump is somewhat desperate. I mean, if he's putting out something like that at 8 in the morning, I don't think he's sane.
When adversaries can accurately diagnose American presidential instability, that's a national security crisis. Iran's assessment isn't propaganda, it's clinical observation. Foreign intelligence services are now factoring Trump's mental state into their strategic calculations, which is terrifying for global stability.
Dr. Vin Gupta, a medical analyst at MS Now, a very highly respected medical professional, responded to Donald Trump's post by saying this on social media: erratic, can't finish sentences, often confused, illogical train of thought, word finding difficulties, developing and worsening gradually over time. The president is exhibiting all the signs of dementia. And on top of this, we have members of Congress calling for the 25th Amendment to be invoked. And as the day went on, and after Donald Trump put out this post, the numbers only grew.
Dr. Gupta's public assessment carries enormous weight because medical professionals rarely make such direct statements about sitting presidents. When respected physicians start using terms like dementia and erratic behavior, it signals we're entering uncharted constitutional territory that demands immediate action.
We have Senator Chris Murphy saying, if I were in Trump's cabinet, I would spend Easter calling constitutional lawyers about the 25th Amendment. This is completely, utterly unhinged. He's already killed thousands. He's going to kill thousands more. He wasn't the only one. Representative Melanie Stansberry, the emperor has no clothes. Time for the 25th Amendment. Congress and the cabinet must act. And yeah, I completely agree. We are currently being led by somebody who is in a manic state.
The 25th Amendment requires either the vice president plus cabinet majority or congressional supermajority to remove an incapacitated president. Multiple lawmakers calling for it simultaneously means Trump's inner circle is likely having serious private conversations about his fitness for office.
The president of the United States is a deranged lunatic and a national security threat to our country and the rest of the world. And on top of this, it gets even worse for Donald Trump, if you can even believe it. I have more examples. I came prepared with receipts. On top of the 25th Amendment, on top of everything we read in that article, on top of the medical conversation, Iran is now publicly trolling Donald Trump.
When adversary nations publicly mock the American president, it signals they no longer fear or respect U.S. power. This diplomatic humiliation emboldens hostile actors worldwide and undermines decades of American credibility that took generations to build.
I mean, the one on your screen right now was posted today after Donald Trump's social media post, has 2.1 million views, 26,000 likes. The Iran embassy in Zimbabwe said, "We've lost the keys," in reference to the Strait of Hormuz. They don't have the keys to open it up. The Iran embassy of South Africa said, "Shh, the keys under the flower pot just open for friends." So multiple different Iranian embassies around the world are mocking Donald Trump.
These coordinated embassy posts getting millions of views shows Iran's sophisticated information warfare. They're not just mocking Trump, they're demonstrating to the world that America is led by someone they consider mentally unstable and strategically incompetent.
People who have spoken highly of him, people who have openly said that they are friends, are saying Donald Trump is a little bit off the rocker. Here's Ann Coulter saying, I really wish legal experts hadn't screamed bloody murder about every little thing Trump did so they could speak with authority now that he's actually committing war crimes.
Ann Coulter was one of Trump's earliest and most vocal supporters, writing entire books defending him. When someone who built their career on Trump loyalty starts using terms like war crimes, that represents a complete breakdown of his remaining conservative coalition.
He included Donald Trump's post in his tweet saying, "This is embarrassing, delete it at Donald Trump unless you want everyone to think you've lost your marbles," which I think we can all conclusively say that Donald Trump has lost his marbles. So
Piers Morgan has maintained personal friendship with Trump for over a decade and defended him through countless controversies. When even Morgan publicly tells him he's lost his marbles, Trump has truly isolated himself from his last remaining media allies.
So all of this, the markets, the mental conversation, Iran trolling Donald Trump, the 25th Amendment conversation, and just everything broadly, all of this happened in one day. For Donald Trump. All of it happened on Easter Sunday. What a disaster day for Donald Trump. What a disaster day for his administration. And quite frankly, a disaster day for the United States of America. Because we all are suffering right now. Our reputation on the world stage has been completely tainted. And it's all because of Trump and his goons, the people that serve in his administration.
One social media post triggered market crashes, constitutional crisis discussions, international mockery, and complete ally abandonment. All in a single day. This demonstrates how Trump's mental instability now poses an existential threat to American democracy and global security.